Alright, so for 27 through 33, you're matching this with one of the functions. Okay, and so here we have, this matches the sine function, the sine formula, sine A minus B. And so that's what you see right here, where A is 60 and B is 10. So when you subtract, you get 50, and that's all you can do. That's all they ask you to do for this one, actually. 29, this is obviously a tangent. Now, is it A plus B or A minus B? Well, you look at the numerator, that sign tells you that it's A minus B. So here are the two angles, and then you subtract the numbers and you get this. And that's it for that one. 31 is a cosine function. Cosine A plus B or A minus B. How do I know that? Because it's cosine, cosine, sine, sine. That follows that pattern for the cosine formula. Now this is a minus, so that means that the formula we're going to use is cosine A plus B. Okay, it's the opposite, sine. You add the two fractions together, and here's the work. Common denominator is 63. And then this is a simplified form. And that's your answer. 33, this follows the sine format, the sine formula. And because that's a plus, then you know that it's A plus B. And you can't combine, you just leave it like this. You can't combine these two like you did on the previous ones, because that has an X and that has a Y. So you just leave them like that. Alright, for 35 through 39, they do want you to simplify. So it's the same thing in that you are matching this with the formulas. So this is a sine, because it's sine, cosine, cosine, sine. And because that's a plus, then you know that it's A plus B. So here is the setup right here. Common denominators, that's what I have here. Add the two numerators, that gives you this. And then reduce, that gives you this. And sine of pi over 3 is radical 3 over 2. This is another sine formula right here. Because of the minus, then you know it's sine A minus B. That's what you have here. And then so that's sine 60, which is radical 3 over 2. Now, you could go back and just do them individually. It would just take more work, because this is a special angle, this is a special angle. So you could have done them individually and then combined and done all the work, right? Multiply, multiply, subtract. But this is a lot less work, right? Just doing it this way. 39 is a tangent. Because of the minus here, then you know it's A minus B. So that's the work right here. That gives you 4 pi over 6, reduces to 2 pi over 3, and tangent of 2 pi over 3, because this is in quadrant 2, it's negative. The ratio is radical 3, so that's the answer. For 43, 45, we're using the same conditions right here for U and V. They're both in quadrant, both angles are in quadrant 2, and that's what you have right here. I changed the color for these two numbers because these were not given to you. You had to figure them out based on the ratios here. Okay? And so S sine of U plus V, this is the formula for that. And you take, sine of U is 5/13, cosine of V is negative 3/5, cosine of U is negative 12/13, sine of V is 4/5. And you multiply it out. You multiply this out, and you get this. And then simplify to get this. Okay, cosine U minus V, here's the formula. Okay, straight from the notes, just the formula. And then cosine of U is negative 12/13, cosine of V is negative 3/5, sine of U is 5/13, sine of V is 4/5. The denominators are 65, so I just put it as one fraction. Multiply, get 36, multiply, get 20, combine them, add them together, you get this. Numbers 47, 49 have the same conditions. Here is angle U, angle V. Same thing, the color changes because this was not given to you. You had to figure it out based on the ratios that they gave you here, and knowing that it's in the angles are in quadrant 3. Okay? So tangent of U plus V. Oh, and I found them by Pythagorean theorem. If you didn't remember this combination 7, 24, 25, just use Pythagorean theorem to get that missing value right there. This one you probably just got it automatically without Pythagorean theorem. But if you had forgotten it, you could always do, a squared plus b squared equals c squared to get the missing piece. So tangent u plus v, here's the formula right here. Okay, tangent u, you go over here and it's 7 over 24 because it's negative over negative. And tangent v is 3 over 4 because negative over negative is positive, right? So I don't put the negatives here. They cancel out, okay, initially. And so the least common denominator of the numerator and denominator is 96. So I got 96 by multiplying these two numbers together. Okay, so I'm going to distribute here, and the 24 goes into the 96 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. Then 4 goes into 96 24 times. 24 times 3 is 72. Then I distribute here, and I get 96. Distribute here, and this is 96 cancels with that 96, so I'm left with 21, and that's what you see here. Combine the terms here, you get this, and reduce, then you get this. Sine v minus u formula, and then just like on numbers 43, 45, I just replaced each term with each trig function with its ratio. Multiplied, I got this. Simplified, I got this. Okay, 55, you have sine of a plus b. This is a, this is b, because remember this is an angle. Now it happens to be an angle that we know because the ratio comes from the unit circle. I know you could think of it as in terms of 3 pi over 2, but 3 pi over 2 is not in the 1-to-1 piece, but negative pi over 2 is. So negative pi over 2 is the same as 3 pi over 2. So I'm going to use negative pi over 2 because I'm thinking of the 1-to-1 function. Alright, so I replace this whole expression right here with negative pi over 2, and that's what you see right here. These two, when you combine, you get 0. Sine of 0 is 0. For 57, these are ratios from the unit circle. So sine inverse of 1 is pi over 2. Cosine inverse of 1 is 0. So this becomes sine of pi over 2 plus 0, which is sine of pi over 2, which is 1. Okay, 59 are not ratios from the unit circle. So cosine inverse of 4/5 is not on the unit circle. Sine inverse of 3/5 is not on the unit circle. So then that means I have to draw triangles for each of them. So here's the one for A, here's the one for B, and they turned out to be identical. Okay, but it's okay. That's just a coincidence, right? So here's the formula for sine A plus B, because that's what this means right here, A plus B. Alright, so as I was saying, here's the formula. The angles turned out to be the same measure. Again, that's irrelevant. We're still going to use this here. So this is your sine A, your cosine B, cosine A, sine B. Multiply, and you get this. Because they have the same denominator, I just put it all underneath one, in one fraction. And so combine your numerator, you get this, and that's the final answer.